Today, in this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 scorers of all time. But before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video so you can support us and get more football content about past, present and future. And getting into this video, number 10 spot is Pele. He's got 778 goals in 846 games, giving him a ratio of 0.92 goals. Pele needs no introduction. He's one of the best players to do it, playing for Santos from the 1950s to the 1970s. Then he scored so much goals in his time playing. That's why he's at this number 10 spot. And he also won 3 World Cups in 1958, 1970, 1962, yeah. And number 9, another Brazilian, Romario. Romario is one of the most clinical strikers to do it. 784 goals in 1,002 games, which is an impressive stat for anyone. That gives him a ratio of 0.78 goals. Then he played for good numbers team. He played for Barcelona, PSV Eindhoven, and he won the 94 World Cup. On to number 8, Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi has the mirroring ratio to Romario, 0.78, but he's got a little more goals. 787 goals in 1,009 games. And Messi needs no introduction as well. He's one of the best players ever, and he's scored the most goals for anyone out a single club, I think. Then he at Barcelona, obviously. Then on to number 7 is a Hungarian player, Ferenc Dík. Ferenc Dík at least scored 795 goals in at least 511 games, giving him an amazing ratio, 1.56 goals a game, which is equivalent to 156 goals in 100 games. That's unheard of stats, don't you think? That is impressive. Who would have think that? He played for Hungary in the 1940s, but he missed out on the 1954 one because he had retired by 1949 from Hungary. And on to number 6, Ferenc Pukas. Ferenc Pukas, one of the best players of all time. He's an amazing player. He scored 806 goals in 793 games, giving him a ratio of 1.02, which is 102 goals in 100 games. That is amazing stats just thinking of it. He played for Budapest Honvéd in the 1940s and 50s. Then he went on to Real Madrid to partner up with Di Stefano, winning a large number of Champions Leagues with Madrid during their first golden generation. Then on to the number 5 spot, we've got Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones scored at least 109 goals in 735 games. The reason they don't know his stats is because he played post-war, where he started his career in 1944. Jimmy Jones was a key player at Glenavon, which is in Northern Ireland. Then he's played for Northern Ireland. He played for the Northern Irish team a little bit. He only played 3 games for Ireland, scoring 1 goal. Then on to number 4 is Cristiano Ronaldo. Everyone knows who Cristiano Ronaldo is. 821 goals in 1,034 games, giving him a ratio of 0.72 goals, which is a bit lower than all the players on this list. But that's because he's really started his career on the wing and not an out-and-out striker. He's started his career at Sporting, went to Man U, went to Madrid, went to Juve, back at Man U now. And he's shown why he's one of the best to do it, with his incredible all-round abilities. Then on to number 3, you won't know this most likely, Ronnie Rookie. Ronnie Rookie played pre-war and he scored at least 929 goals in 1,028 games, giving him a ratio of 0.9. He plays for Arsenal, Fulham, a few other top clubs around those times. He won the league with Arsenal in 1948, the first division, and he only played 1 game for England, which was during the wartime. And on to the second one, you might know this player, I'm not too sure, Josip Bushkan. Josip Bushkan, one of the greatest strikers ever, definitely one of the greatest pre-war players ever. Josip Bushkan was an amazing clinical striker. At least 950 goals in 624 games, give him a ratio of 1.52 goals, which is, I think, the 4th best ratio ever, something like around that, which is amazing stats. He played for Rapid Vienna, Slavia Prague. We went to Czechoslovakia. He played for Austria, and he was part of the Wanda team during Austria just before the war, until the World War happened. They were a brilliant team until they got disbanded and lots of players fled, including Josef Bushkan. And on to number 1, Owen Holtzman. Owen Holtzman was a German player during the pre-war until 1951. Scored at least 987 plus goals in 578 games, giving him a ratio of 1.71 goals a game, which has to be the 2nd best ratio of all time, or even the best. Possibly, yeah, the best ratio of all time. That's amazing. That's 171 goals in 100 games. That's just unheard of stats. He played around Germany, obviously, in the pre-war. He played for VfB Lochberg, and he played for PSV Chimzit in the early times, when the leagues were different still, just before the war. And thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to it, remember.